Welcome to iFanboy, the video podcast of the comic book discussion site, iFanboy.com. I am Josh, and I'm here with Connor.
Hello.
We are back with even more San Diego stuff. We had so much stuff, we couldn't fit it into one show.
So we got part two, all the stuff, the board is clear, we're ready to go. Enjoy.
I'm so tired, I don't want to look at this stuff anymore.
No.
I'm not going back. Is it Busiek or Busiek?
It's Busiek. Rhymes with Busiek, which is usually fits.
Okay, you've answered a question that we've had for a long time, so that's very cool. Now, you're writing Superman right now.
Yes.
Are you having a lot of fun with that? I mean, it's
yeah.
a character that's been around forever. Are you still finding new things?
It's rare that I don't wake up in the morning with new ideas for Superman. For some reason, I just hit whatever I needed to hit, and Superman ideas just don't stop coming. Mm-hmm. So I'm lucky enough. I'm working with Carlos Pacheco. I get to flip back and forth with Jeph Johns. It's a fabulous job.
Yeah, that image from the first cover is on the buses in all of San Diego. It must be.
Yeah, I saw it on banners. I'm just going like.
It's one of those great iconic images, I think. If we're fans of Astro City, is there anything else we can expect in this year coming up?
Yeah, there's going to be the finale to the Dark Age Book 2 is hitting in September, and we're working on a double-sized special featuring Beauty of Honor Guard after that. That'll hopefully be out by the end of the year, and then we're going to go on to Dark Age Book 3. But that'll be next year.
Maybe.
With all the kids?
Possibly.
I'm here with Adam Hughes, and you were kind of the center of an online maelstrom, I guess, with the Mary Jane statue.
You know, I don't even think it was online, because when I tried to escape from it by turning on my cable television and it was being covered on MSNBC.com, I was like, oh good, it's everywhere. Good for me.
I mean, do you think that too much was made out of it? Are you?
I personally do, mostly because it was a mistaken impression. Everybody who was upset with it was like, it's demeaning to women. Mary Jane's doing Spider-Man's laundry, and my argument was, who does laundry in a basket on a coffee table? It's supposed to be one of the cute sort of 1950s pinup moment of the girl finds her lover's dirty little secret, and sometimes it's, oh, you've got like a little leather costume in the closet, or there's lipstick on your collar, and because Mary Jane's dating Peter Parker, it's like, oh, you're a superhero when I'm not looking, and I realize it's not really in continuity, but it's a statue, it's meant to be fun.
Yeah.
And I think it was blown out of proportion. It was a case of mistaken impression, and that person got upset, told somebody else, and by the time, and they told two friends, and so on and so on.
It ended up on the cable news.
It ended up on cable news, and by the time it gets there, nobody's willing to look at it in with an open mind. They're going, oh, I've heard about this insulting laundry statue. Bob, can you show me the insulting laundry statue? And
this group thing got ahead of itself. Now, you're still working on All-Star Wonder Woman?
Yes. The progress is glacial, but we are moving along. I'm slow on the best of days, even on coffee and.
You're writing and drawing?
I'm writing it and penciling and inking it.
Okay.
So it's going to take a while. So everybody should just forget about me for a little bit, and not get excited about it, and then we'll resurface like a Nazi submarine and surprise everybody with the comic. Hopefully next year.
That's an interesting comparison to use for yourself.
Yeah, well, I have chronic aphorism poisoning, so they kind of fall out of my mouth from time to time.
Great. So are you going to have a bunch of stuff in the can before you release the first issue? Is that the plan?
If I have my way, yes. We're not. If it was up to me, DC Comics would not solicit for the first issue until I'm putting the little touches on the end of the sixth issue. Because even though it's going to take me forever to write and draw, I think that it's really important that they come out every 30 days.
Right. You want to be the all-star that did it right.
Well, yeah, I realize that just by having those, 7 letters at the beginning of the title, I'm inheriting a lot of bad blood. And, you don't want people going into your entertainment experience angry. You want them on your side because then they'll enjoy what you're doing. Because it's an all-star book, I'm probably going to have to work really hard in the first issue to win the audience. And you have to maintain that by shipping the book every 30 days. So, hopefully.
I am here with Rich Koslowski, cartoonist, and I was looking at your newest book, The List. You're also doing prose.
Yeah, it's to keep myself challenged, keep myself motivated and interested. I just like trying all the mediums, different styles, different techniques. Keeps it fresh.
I first came across your work recently when I read The King for the first time, and I was I really liked it as it was a single story that I felt like I could give to anybody, regardless if they read comics or not. Were you a big Elvis fan, or?
Yeah. Actually, I was a fan of the fans. I was a fan of the mythos. When he died, I was very young, and my grandfather visited us every Sunday, and he used to bring the National Enquirer he read that, and I was a fan of those stories. I thought they were phenomenal. Elvis was abducted by aliens and the CIA and all that. So I was just riveted by that stuff. I was a fan of that side of Elvis. So then when I pitched the idea to Chris Staros at Top Shelf, who is a huge Elvis fan, he was all over it. We gave it I gave it a completely different slant, the whole Elvis story and the mythos and my pitch. But then as I started to research Elvis and listen to the music, then I became a fan of him also, as well as the whole mythos around him. So yeah, I'm a fan of everything about him now.
So after the book, you became a fan of Elvis?
During the writing of the book, yeah. Listening to the music every day and watching the DVDs. I always liked, a few of his songs, and I thought he was cool. But then when I really got into the DVDs and saw the charisma that he had, that special X factor that put him over the top. I mean, there's stars and then there's superstars. I mean, he's one of the true superstars. He's phenomenal.
Now, you decided to go with, instead of just black and white, you used a blue tone in that book. Is there a reason you did that, or is it just...
Yeah, I really like, the two-color process added a little bit of cost, but we didn't want to go full color because that's cost prohibitive. But obviously with the blue suede shoes and all that, we added the blue tones, and it really fit the style, and then we used a lot of gray tones as well to enhance the artwork. But who inspired me to do it is one of my favorite artists, Seth, who does a lot over at Drawn and Quarterly. I think he's a master of just using the two-color blues and gray tones. So that was my inspiration.
Can you tell me about the new book, The List, that you're pitching, or that you've got at the show here today?
Right. The List is brand new. Just came out for the show. It is my Santa Claus story. The governments and corporations of the world for years have been trying to get their hands on his list because they want that information. And he's been able to hold them off, fend them off, whatever. He's got an empire up there at the North Pole. Somebody finally gets him. They figure out a way to get him out of the picture, take over Christmas, and the world at large knows nothing of it. And for 37 years, they have him buried out in the desert somewhere because he's immortal. They can't kill him. Someone within the company who doesn't know what happened, well, he has a moral dilemma. He helps some elves who managed to escape 37 years ago from the horror that happened when they took over the North Pole. They free Santa Claus, and Santa comes back with a vengeance. He takes his throne back. It's pretty intense stuff.
So you're ready to get back to cartooning after writing all that blocky text?
I like them both. I'm hoping to do a little bit of each. I'm writing for Marvel now, and their new character, the Guardian, which will debut in Marvel Comics Presents in September, issue number 1. And I'm doing another graphic novel, which is about halfway done, called BB Wolf and the 3 LPs, which will be out next year here. And Top Shelf might be publishing that, and that's a new take on the whole 3 Little Pigs story with the big bad wolf, which is looking phenomenal. The writer is Johnny Arnold, so I'm just illustrating that one. I got a new 3 Geeks graphic novel in the works and a few other things, so staying real busy.
How's interning going? We saw a guy with paper eyebrows back there. We don't know what it meant.
I think he just had something weird. We have no idea what people are dressed up as.
Is it over yet?
Have you been to any panels that you've enjoyed?
No. But do you even know? I mean, we were standing in a room for about 25 minutes. I had no idea what was going on. Did you?
No.
I think he was sleeping on the floor.
I don't even know who those people were.
Yeah. Something about comic books. I don't really know where we are.
Is there anything you're looking forward to reading? Any comic books you want to pick up?
No. Is it lunchtime?
Yeah, we should go get lunch. We're taking a break.
All right, I'll just meet you back here.
Yeah, whatever.
So we're here with Joss Whedon in the Dark Horse booth. How you doing, Joss?
I'm doing all right.
One of the great things about you here at the con is that you're often here walking around talking to people, and you're actually here in the Dark Horse books, and we're mobbed with fans. I mean, that's got to be a good feeling, right?
Well, it was good till they started burning torches to kill the monster, and I thought that was a little weird.
It is a little weird.
Yeah.
But so are you happy with how the Buffy comic has come out in the past year? Or?
Extremely happy. I got George's Janty draw on it.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun to write. It's been a great experience.
Gene Yang, creator of the recent Eisner Award winner American-born Chinese. Did you expect this kind of response from the book?
No. I don't think you can. It's been absolutely phenomenal. You know, I started off American-born Chinese as a mini comic, and I also had it published on the web through Modern Tales, which is this web comics collective. So to go from there to the graphic novel was already, beyond what I was dreaming, and then the response has just been incredible.
It feels like you've sort of turned a corner this year, and like now that you're the name that's on top of everything, have you got more stuff planned? Are you doing more work?
Yeah, I'm working on a graphic novel with Derek Kirk Kim, who's a friend of mine and also a previous Eisner winner. He won for Same Difference and Other Stories in, I think, 2003. So we're doing a book called Second Lives. That'll be a collection of 3 short stories, and that'll be out from First Second in 2009.
One of the things I noticed in reading a couple of your books, like, you're really good at endings. Do you plan out stuff from ahead of time, or is that just the serendipitous or something like that? Because, like, I've read Gordon Yamamoto, I've read American-born Chinese, and the endings on both of those were really satisfying, which is something that's very rare. How do you go about that?
I actually kind of feel like, and my comic book friends have told me that my endings kind of suck, so that's actually really surprising to hear. But I do plan things out beforehand. I didn't for Gordon Yamamoto. That one I made up as I went along, but everything that I've done after that, I planned out beforehand.
I just feel that you read a graphic novel and sometimes you can tell it's somebody just doing stuff, and I got to the end of Gordon Yamamoto and I was like, that was just a great book, and I felt like I could hand it to anybody, which is something I don't get with a lot of, you can't give superhero comics to everybody or anything like that. Are you going for a wide audience, or?
I think, I don't think I think about the audience too much when I'm doing it. Usually who I write for is like my family and my friends and myself.
Do you put a lot of your personal stories into any of these books? Was any of this stuff in American-born Chinese anything that you went through specifically, or?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's pretty much the easiest way to write, because you know your own life the best. So to stick a little bit of yourself in your writing gives the writing a more personal feel, and it brings it to life.
All right, I'm here with Kieron Gillen and Jamie McKelvie from Phonogram. How you guys doing?
Very well, thank you.
Yeah, all right, not too bad.
You made it all the way across from England?
Just about.
Yeah, just about.
We worked steerage, basically we got on a boat and we rowed as a kind of temporary slave thing, and now we're here and we're very happy.
Took us 6 weeks, but
it's true, it was worth it though.
Yeah.
Powerful forearms.
So you were here last year kind of promoting Phonogram before it came out. Yes. Now a year later, Phonogram's in trade, the issues came out. Are you happy with the success this book achieved, or the reaction?
Yes would be the short answer.
Yeah.
Should we go for a slightly longer answer? But yeah, very much so. It's fantastic, and it's just great to actually, I said last year we were here with nothing and just hand waving and talking to people. And this year, there's an actual object there, and people can flick through it, and we're just very proud, you know. It took pretty much, what was it, 9 months to do in kind of actual writing, and so drawing it. Yeah. So it's pretty much, but you know, it's a baby. It took as long as a tiny child to come into the world, and it's equally as covered in vomit and has poo in its pants. But you know, we're still proud of it.
And people have been buying it, which is very surprising.
Yeah. and we have T-shirts, which is our famous, you know, it's our rock and roll indie band rock fantasy.
We made it, now we got T-shirts.
Yep.
So it's a comic book with Britpop as one of the main kind of underlying themes of it. It was so niche in terms of the approach. Were you worried about people actually being able to connect to it, or?
Yes. In fact, not very much so. You know, absolute panic. And you know, some people don't, which is fine. You know, but. You know, if people actually can just get past the references, the real message is about what music matters to you, and you can really, anything that was actually subjective and interesting and stuff that moved you over the years, you can easily write in. It's about, you know, and we specifically made it about Britpop because it was relevant to what the story we wanted to tell. But we could have done it about any musical movement if we wanted, and if it really meant enough to us.
Were you worried that it was almost, because it was also very British, and I know, you know, here in the States, a lot of times we don't get it. Were you worried about that?
Comics is a place where you can have quite niche voices is probably the best way to describe it. It's a very direct medium, and the people who tend to read it are kind of, you know, people tend to read comics tend to be they're coming for something which, you know, they don't want to watch TV or they haven't got from films, something you can't get from more mainstream stuff. They're quite happy to find a more niche thing. You know, we always knew it was going to be a cult book. It was never going to be Civil War. What is more impressive for us, the people who come to us. In fact, a lot of people said, "Oh, dude, you introduced us to Echobelly or something yesterday," and that's, you know, that's great.
I feel kind of guilty.
Yeah, we feel quite bad that we don't really like Echobelly that much.
No.
And that's great, but yeah.
Well, that's the one thing. I mean, I know I went and downloaded the Kanicki record, and so did you get a lot of people saying, "Wow, you got me into these bands and stuff"?
A lot of people.
I bet Lauren Laverne's wondering why she's suddenly getting lots of checks from iTunes because people have been downloading the record.
It's quite. I do like the idea, you know. I mean, a lot of the art I've liked, you know, whether it's a band or you know, a comic or a book, has a reference in some way of other art, you know, and I.
So now there will be another Phonogram series. Is it going to be a different type of music, or is it going to be still in Britpop, or
different kind of music? I never want to listen to a Britpop record again. Yeah. You know, I kind of, not quite true. I kind of, when I was actually writing, I just filmed my entire little iPod with every single record from '94 to '96, including the stuff I hated, and I just listened to it non-stop, and I drove myself basically mad, and that kind of is where the comic comes from. The sequel is contemporary, basically. It's set in 2000, very, very late 2006, December, so it's a much more contemporary sort of comic. It's still set in Britain, and it features some of the same characters, as well as like about 5 new ones. It's going to be interesting to talk to people after the second arc, because, you know, in the same way this was a big risk, going completely a different way away from Britpop, that's also a big risk. But, you know, it's a project born of really stupid ideas, and we need to follow those through and see where they lead, I think. But, you know, we're pleased. We think that we can.
So as an American Britpop fan, I was really disappointed that there wasn't more Morrissey references.
Oh, man, yeah. Morrissey is like... I was thinking about Morrissey actually recently, because I went through, I wrote a big piece on my blog about the Smiths, specifically The Queen is Dead. I don't know, he just wasn't right in the period because he barely released any records. Like it's mainly about '94 to '96.
Yeah. Morrissey, and that was when Vauxhall and I came out in '94.
It's early, but you know, it's kind of, then he sort of drifts away. It wasn't actually, what's the word? It never really resonated in terms of how the scene worked.
He was more worried about America at that point too. He was trying to get on MTV and stuff.
Exactly. Everyone does that all the time in Britain, bless them. But I don't know. Since he wasn't a fundamental player in the Britpop '94 thing, well, obviously, you know, in British pop history, you know, the guy's a colossus. That's basically why he didn't really tell his story. And there's a lot of people who I really like, even '94 and '96 I didn't include. It's like, I mean, Pulp are barely there, and that's, you know, Cole mentions it, and that's kind of the point. You know, the idea that, you know, a lot of the subtleties of the period are being lost from people trying to simplify into a narrative, and you know. So there was a lot of people who genuinely liked to barely there at all. But, you know, major players, like, you know, there's a tiny Supergrass reference, and there's a tiny Shed 7 reference, and you've
tried to get them all in.
Yeah, right? But you know, just say the fact that, you know, we had to lose them all because we had to lose quite a lot just to make the point we're trying to make.
It's a literally tiny Supergrass reference.
Yeah, it's a tiny.
It's actually that big on one page.
I'll actually find the Supergrass reference in here somewhere, which is
a bit later.
It's a bit earlier.
There we go.
Supergrass reference is that tiny little bed there. there that's crashed.
And this is Shed 7.
That's the Shed 7 reference. And it's really small.
Now, are all those references actually caught by people, or
No, it's got them at all. Yeah. Oh, it's a layered book. We kind of, a lot of people say it's a hard read, and we don't make any, it's clearly a hard read, and it's meant to slow down and you're meant to reread it. But I've always been to comics that reward rereading. There's a degree of layers, and there's So no, we don't expect everyone to get all the references, but it's not meant to. What reference should you get are meaningful to you, which is the same as any pop object, from a pop song to a book to whatever. Is you take your own meaning from it, and you make it relevant to you, and those things that stand out are the most important things. Would that be true?
Yes.
So after listening to tons and tons of records from that period, what record can you still listen to now, and what record do you never want to hear again?
Well, we both got the same ones, really. I think.
You want to speak?
Elastica. Yes. Elastica. Pulp, different class. Pulp, this is hardcore. Pulp, any pulp.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Anything Pulp and Alaska are the two we can recommend without any reservations. Yeah. There's stuff which I like say the Boo Radleys or Supergrass or Oasis or Blur, but I've got to have reservations.
Yeah.
Alaska and Pulp are more to art objects. In terms of what I never want to hear, it's like the Cooler Shaker stuff. But yes, Cooler Shaker I never want to hear again. I really
I don't think I ever really got into them. So. Yeah. All right, cool. So Jamie, you got a book coming out soon, right? Suburban Glamour, right? Can you tell us about it?
It's kind of a modern fantasy, I guess, about a couple of suburban kids in a tiny town where nothing ever happens, and then strange stuff starts happening. I kind of describe it as Blue Monday meets Labyrinth. I guess that's an easy way of saying it. Says I like it.
All right, just because we're here in California and you're just loving it up with the boot bays doesn't mean you're not here for working. So get to it.
This episode of iFanboy is brought to you by Netflix.com/iFanboy. Head over there, you get free shipping, no late fees. It's also brought to you by GoDaddy.com. Enter the coupon code iFanboy for 10% off all your domain name purchases. And
we're proud to announce, after a longly awaited, what's the one thing missing from your wardrobe?
I believe it's an iFanboy t-shirt.
It is, and ta-da! Our friends at Jinx.com.
JINX.
And you can go to jinx.com/iFanboy, where you can get the lovely iFanboy t-shirt, and where you can join Gordon as an intern.
Wait a minute. You mean everyone's an intern?
Well, they're not a special intern like you.
I'm done.
We're not in San Diego anymore, are we?
No, but where the hell
I want to go back. But until we can go back, we want to tell you about our new sponsor, GV.com.
GV.com. GEV.com.
And it's a brand new website dedicated to video game videos. So like you can record
like a YouTube-ish video game.
For video games. So you can record yourself playing the game when you beat the boss, or when you find a cheat or a glitch. Record it. You can share it with your friends.
Yep. You can show off. You can show them how to do something if your friends are stuck.
Yep. Very cool. So GV.com. They got a contest going on.
The person who sends it to most people, August 17th, most new users, wins a free handheld device or a free
game console.
Yep.
Yeah. So what you want to do is you want to go to GV.com. You want to register for an account. Tell your friends to register for an account. And when they register for their account, there's going to be a thing that says referred by. Tell them to put in your username.
And if you don't have an account, you need one. So go there, sign up.
So the user with the most referrals will win the contest by August 17th.
Right.
So GV.com, GEVE.com.
Here's a tip. If you want to come to the convention in San Diego, for example, stop everything you're doing right now, this second.
Right now. Press pause. Now.
And go book your room. Because it's sold. Wait, you're right. It's sold out. One just sold out now. Also, here's another tip. You want to get your food outside of the convention floor if you can. You want to stock up in the morning?
If you have agoraphobia, stay home. And then it's all about balance bars and water.
Bring like one of those Camelbacks or something, just be sipping on water. I'm like parched now, so it's like between the air conditioning, the plane, it's like I always get a cold when I get back. So, and I think it's just because I'm dried out.
When you know you're going to come to the convention, your best bet is to pre-register if you can. You go online, you put in information, make sure you've got a badge. Things sold out in record time this year.
So just like like the hotel room or whatever, you want to go, like it's a couple of months ahead of time and make sure you get the stuff. And then on Wednesday night, you just go, you pick up your badge, and then you don't have to wait in line and pay here. And
the throngs of people that were just behind us.
Well, if you've never been to San Diego, I would say don't come on Friday or Saturday on your first day, because it's absolutely nuts. And if you do come on Friday and Saturday, stay away from the middle.
If you have someplace to go outside and then come back in, because it's just impossible getting through here. It's just too much work.
And have a base station, a place you can sit and catch your breath.
So you used to be able to come to the movie panels, the TV panels. You could get in after a little
You
while.
could see the stars, see a sneak peek. You know, it was a real. There's the lore of Saturday was the big Hollywood panels.
Yeah. Now if you look at the line behind us, it goes all the way back there. It actually wraps around
outside. And actually, security goes up and down telling these people that they're not getting in, yet they still wait.
Be prepared for everything and anything at all times. There's so much to see. I would probably take a few days.
To be loud.
Be loud. Okay, that's a new one.
And you get lots of attention if you're in a costume, so it's really fun to be here dressed up.
We did a whole show about sketches, and here's a little something we left out of that one. If you want to get a free quick head sketch, the best place to do that is in the company booth. Like we're at the DC booth now, and right over there, Tim Sale is doing sketches, by the way, with a lot more detail than I got from him.
Yeah, I know, exactly. But the companies often have a schedule of who's signing when, and you can plan when to wait online, and they're free, which is great, but you're paying in the amount of time you wait online.
And you've got to be there early if it's a big guy, I'm sure the people who are getting the Tim Sale sketches right now have been here, hours and have missed everybody else they wanted to get.
If there's a specific artist though that you like, there's a good chance they're probably in Artist Alley, and which is way down in the other end of the convention, but they're here to make a little money, so they're going to be charging.
They got to pay for that table, so they get 10, 20 bucks a sketch, maybe more.
Hi, it's Jeph Loeb for iFanboy, and you've asked me what should you do when you go to a convention. First of all, bring all your favorite comic books. Make sure they're in a strong box. When you're online, take them out of the bags, because creators can't take them out of the bags or they'll rip them. So be ready. Sometimes you may have to have an extra pen or a pencil just in case they don't have those sort of things. Sometimes they give them to you so you're ready for them. But most importantly, and this is the thing, don't forget, bring soap. Bathe in the morning and in the evening. No one wants to see you if you smell. Remember, good hygiene isn't just a suggestion, it's a must when you go to Comic-Con.
One of the best things about the convention is that all the comics publishers are here. Both the majors, the indies, pretty much anybody who puts out comics is here. So it's a great opportunity for business and networking.
If you have something, this is the place you kind of have to come, either fortunately or unfortunately, because all the people that you want to talk to are going to be here. That's why a lot of them are here.
So if you're an aspiring artist or writer, this is a good opportunity to meet the editors, to meet the publishers, and kind of get a chance to show them their work. A lot of DC and Dark Horse and Marvel do sketchbook reviews and that sort of thing. They're always looking for new talent.
And if you've got your own projects and you want to pitch it, you can go to the indie guys, you can go whatever, and you can meet the people and shake their hand. You can hand them something, and you want to make sure when you do that, it's simple. It's something they can take away. You want your contact information in it, and you want to make sure that it's something you're proud of. You don't want to give them something that's sort of half-assed. So make sure you put your work into it, because this is the first chance.
And make sure you're prepared. Get business cards made up. A lot of places online where you just make a quick business card, throw your name, your email address, your phone number on there. If you get it in somebody's hand, who knows? Maybe they'll remember you and can contact you. You never know. That's a lot of talent has been found at conventions.
I've discovered a recent tip really good. When you're at a con too long, and you're starting to recycle your clothing, wearing the T-shirt you wore on the first day, discovered a fabulous trick.
Okay.
If you get vodka and put it in a spray bottle and spray the clothing, the alcohol in the vodka kills the bacteria that causes BO, but because vodka's odorless, you don't smell like a vagrant.
All right, it's time to get serious. Do you know about the gold bond?
You guys mentioned something last year, but I don't trust it.
Maybe we should have told you about this earlier, but this is gold bond medicated powder. If you're walking around the floor a lot of people, you're going to get kind of sweaty. Maybe you've experienced that?
Yeah.
All right, well, you want to apply this to those areas. So go ahead. He's skeptical. And let's see what happens. Here he comes. Let's see. So?
Is it possible I used too much because it went from tingling to burning?
Purell hand sanitizer. Because in Pittsburgh a few years ago, and this is absolutely a disgusting story, but I shook a guy's hand. He was a little sweaty. I didn't think anything of it. I was eating Cheetos, and a couple hours went by, and I had to go to the bathroom now. And I was in there for like a half hour. I was sweating. I was sick. I came back and I told my wife, I don't know what's wrong with me. I think I got food poisoning. She goes, oh my God. And I'm like, what? She goes, I forgot to tell you that guy that you shook his hand, before he came up and shook his hand, he was digging down in the back of his pants. And I was like, that is something you should have told me. So I got E. coli, and ever since, I carry my little hand sanitizer.
The absolute key to con survival is comfortable shoes. I don't think you can possibly survive at a con without good, comfortable shoes.
I don't know anything. I just sit behind my table. You're the ones who have to navigate each other.
Flee now.
Okay, we're here in the Marvel booth with Jeph Loeb. How you doing, Jeph?
I'm doing great. How are you guys all doing there? What are you guys, iFanboy?
Yeah, that's who we're
iFanboy. 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 So, you're watching this, you're a fanboy. I'm Jeph Loeb. That's Rob Liefeld.
Hi, I'm Jeph Loeb. All right, so you're back at Marvel after a couple of years at DC,
Yes.
and already in the past year of you being back at Marvel, we've heard your name come up when talking about story ideas. Ben is talking about working with you guys. The effect
all I do is announce things. I don't actually put anything out. I'm the world's greatest announcement
But the effect you have on other writers seems to be pretty big. Is that something that you enjoy doing, or is this kind of the, like they say, we worked it out and Jeph had a great idea and then someone went off and all of a sudden wrote it?
No, I just, that's the thing. I used to do that over DC too. Sure. I just, my experience from television, being one of the guys over at Heroes, back on September 24th, season 2, Monday nights, 9 o'clock, NBC.
You're really good. I didn't even get to Heroes yet.
So because of that, my experience is just being part of the writer's room and being collaborative and doing all that stuff. So, we just get together and just talk stuff.
Yeah.
It really isn't about my being involved because, guys like Bendis and Millar, they affect my work as much as anything else. And when I was over at DC, it was Jeff Johns and Greg Rucka and Judd Winnick and those guys.
It just seems very collaborative, and that seems really kind of cool in a standpoint of a story creation kind of thing. So we're impressed.
It's really the only thing that you can really do. It's working in comics is a lonely job. It's a lonely job. It's lonely.
You never hear about
your
that.
mom says you don't work in comics because there's no money. Just look at your mom and go, but it's lonely.
So, are you excited to have
this on television? What's
it's going to be on the internet. That's
if I turn up on YouTube, you are a dead man. dead man.
So are you excited to have your Ultimates with Joe Madureira coming out soon? Madureira.
Say it with me.
Madureira. There we go.
Okay.
Are you excited for that to see?
I'm hugely excited.
Because it's been a while. You've been working on it for a while now, right?
Well, when you do something, it takes time. If we were building a space shuttle, no one would say anything. They'd go, "Oh, geez, it's a space shuttle."
They wouldn't announce it 2 years ago.
Well, but yeah, we have to tell sistine how long it took to paint the Sistine Chapel. What do you think? People came in every day and said, "Hey, Leonardo, what's going on? We asked you 5 years ago to build this space. All you had to do was paint a ceiling. We have to do a whole comic book."
So, and then finally, last year we were in the hall and saw you talk about Heroes and how excited you were, and it came through. It's a phenomenon. I mean, everywhere in the con this year.
We're incredibly grateful to everybody around the world, and it really just comes down to, at the end of the day, that Tim Kring, who created the show, had a dream, which was that a way to be able to tell people that we even though we may look different, even though we may have different ideologies and religions and all those things, at the end of the day, we really are connected. And it's funny because at a place like this, at the San Diego Comic Book Convention, you really get a sense of all the different kinds of people because Lord knows you get all the different kinds of smells. And did I say that with my outside voice?
I did. Inner monologue.
But the idea is that we're all here because we love this medium and because we love storytelling, and that's what I think Tim has successfully tapped into. We have an extraordinary cast, an extraordinary group of writers, with Aaron Colite and Joe Bukowski and Michael Green and my good friend Jesse Alexander, making all kinds of noise. So, we're just having a great time, and we're hoping that it shows back, and we love all the love that people show us, and we're back again. The DVD is on August 28th. It's Volume 1, as we like to refer to it, and with all kinds of specials and goodies.
And what a cliffhanger at the end of Volume 1. That was great.
We will be picking up in feudal Japan with Hero there in 1671, and all kinds of shenanigans going on.
I'm here with Dave Stewart, colorist extraordinaire. You keep getting on these, I would call them dream projects, just great book after great book.
Oh, yeah.
So, do you seek these out, or are you lucky enough they come after you?
I'm lucky enough they come after me, yeah. I mean, I'll just run into people. I think it's, a lot of thanks to Hellboy, that stuff's really, got my work in front of some great guys. So,
Do you find a lot of times the colorist is sort of the unseen hero behind the scenes, but I think yours is a name that comes up a lot, and Laura Martin. Like, do you think that's changing? Do you think people are noticing that more? Or
I think so. Yeah, I mean, actually, I almost think like a really good colorist kind of maybe doesn't get noticed by like the general fan. It's
that's
like
what the letterers say too.
Yeah, yeah, we're kind of in the same boat. It's just like kind of supporting the look of the artist. Actually, a lot of times I think if the badly colored stuff probably gets noticed more than the good colored stuff.
So we heard that Darwin's going to be off the Spirit. Are you going to stick with the book after that?
I don't know. I haven't heard who the creative team is.
Okay.
Have you heard?
No, I don't know. There's all sorts of news going around, and I don't know any of it.
Yeah.
So are you an artist? Like, do you do art outside of coloring, or?
I used to. I wanted to be a penciler when I started, but I got a design internship at Dark Horse, and they saw some painting that I was doing and wanted me to try out for a colorist position. It was back when they were doing the painted guides, and they had one of those spots open. So somebody in-house got that spot, and I got their computer job. Like, there were separators. That's actually how I started out on Hellboy. So I was separating James Sinclair's guides. And I eventually just worked into colorist on that.
So you sort of just ended up doing it, and
kind of, yeah. James went on to other stuff, and I'd been working with Mike for so long that we kind of understood each other. So. And yeah, I just started doing it all digitally too, which seemed a lot easier on a book like that.
So did you have any input? Like, were you watching the Hellboy movies and seeing like that looked like something that I did, or anything like that? Or?
No. Well, yeah, not really. I mean, it's just so different. I mean, the way that we color Hellboy, like those, kind of monochromatic lighted sets and stuff like that. It's not even really how we approach Hellboy. Like Hellboy, I kind of see as like in browns and like there's colored scenes and stuff, but everything kind of seems saturated, in those colors where everything's lit by colored light, and Guillermo's movies and stuff. So actually, I think Pan's Labyrinth looked more Hellboy colored.
When you were working on a project like The New Frontier, did you have a feeling that it was going to be a really big deal in the middle of it?
I didn't really think about that. I just loved Darwin's stuff, and I was really happy to be working with him, and that was all I was thinking about.
Right.
I'm really unaware of like any greatness that may come out of the projects I'm working on. I'm just kind of plugging away and making sure that artist is happy and stuff like that. So
do you get a lot of notes from people? Like do they tell you should color it this way, or you sort of let run free?
Well, it depends. Yeah, it depends on the artist, and I'm always happy to take direction and stuff, because it's such a weird job, really. I mean, you're kind of working under somebody else's ideas and art and stuff like that. So it's like you have your own voice, but it's like you really have to support what the artist is doing. So, yeah, I mean, like Mignola and I, when we started out, he would, come over and sit with me, and we'd work on screen on stuff, and he'd have a lot of input. And now it's, what I want, Dave. It's pretty easy.
All right, it's day 4, 5, 4.5, 5.
4.5.
5. It hurts. You gotta constantly do leg bends. You gotta flex the knees because they start to lock, and then you take a step and it all pops. And that's probably not good for your joints, I'm assuming. In like 20 years, I'll be at the doctor and he'll be like, did you do a lot of walking in concentrated periods of time? And I'll say, yes, I did that. A lot. Well, here's your cane. Come back in 6 months for your walker.
Did you get enough sleep?
I did not get enough sleep. Shared room with Gordon the Intern.
How was the party scene?
The party scene was good. Our iFanboy party was excellent. Lots of people we met. We would spend a lot of time at the Hyatt bar, which is where everybody from the con goes to mingle and people watch and make deals and stuff, and that was good. We had a good time. I'm ready to go home. I've had fun, but let's go.
We're here with Joe Casey. You started this whole thing off last year. Have you felt the shockwaves of that notoriety?
Listen, you fuckers, you come here and you bug me at the booth. What's the matter with you? What's the matter with you?
I thought we talked about this ahead of time, that we weren't going to do this year.
Why hide from your two viewers the truth?
You know, there's people out there and they want to buy your books and everything, and you're coming off like this.
Listen to yourself. You can't even talk. You haven't even paced yourself properly. Your voice is shot. This is really sad.
All right, what is this? Does anyone read this? It's like an indie book, right?
It's Godland. Image publishes it. Yeah, plenty of people read it. What the hell? You know?
It's all right. I actually read it. It's pretty good.
You like it?
Yeah, I do.
All right. Well, there's no accounting for taste.
You know, like, I get it that Jack Kirby already did that, and you just wanted to do it again, but you know, that's fine.
Look, you guys come here and you want to talk to me on a fucking Sunday. I've been here for 5 days, and you're looking for what? Effervescence and personality? I got none. I left it all out on the field.
You know, just something. I just wanted to.
So how did it go this year? I mean, this was the year where we decided, wow, it's getting to the point where they can't fit any more people in this building.
Yeah, they can't. And like, on the one hand, that's really good because people are, you know, the comics are in their face. Even if you don't like comics, they're going to get a chance. You're going to see them everywhere, and if you're actually looking out for it all, you'll find something that can be for you. So that's good, I think, for everybody involved. It means that everybody in there who's putting their hearts into making things has a better chance of surviving. But at the same time, it ain't, you know, it's getting big, and it's like anything.
It really makes you wonder. I mean, like, and we've been talking about it all weekend, you know, with the big video game E3 conference, you know, kind of collapsing over the past 2 years, whether or not we're on the eve of destruction with this convention or not.
What did you call it when we first got here?
The eve of Sodom and Gomorrah. I'm waiting for the, you know, sulfur to start raining down and burning all the booths and everything. But no, I mean, it's like Josh said, it's really great to see so much stuff there. We're always complaining that we want to get people into comics, and you know, 100,000 people, if not more, were here looking at it. Let's just hope that they weren't just there for the pins and the stickers and the freebie stuff.
Well, the flip side of the crowd is that everybody we talked to had to wait hours to get to the panels, even the minor DC panel.
Yep.
Forget going to any of the TV or movie panels. You had to literally wait.
Unless you want that to be your day. If you come here, I'm coming here today to watch the Battlestar Galactica panel, and that used to be.
Even then, that's if you got in. If you didn't, the lines wrapped for hours around the whole convention center.
We saw people waiting in line despite being told they weren't getting into panels, and that's never a good thing. I mean, that's that you're paying money to come, you want to see it, and it's, you know, it's tough. And people getting sketches at the booth and stuff like that. Some of those sketch lines I watched somebody wait for 2.5 hours for a sketch. That's a long time.
It's sort of a victim of its own success. But then on the other hand is that you also have a lot of strain on the management. The people in the red shirts around us are getting a little testy, and the booth organizers and companies were getting a little harried because there's so many people. So there was good and bad to it. I mean, we had a lot of fun. It's just tough when there's so many people.
But at the same time, you know, like, everybody's still here, and if you wanted to be, I'll take it.
Well, first there was like a light caress on the hand.
Sweet.
He sweeted it out of my hand.
Everybody's here you want to meet. Like, if you know, especially if you're into any indie books or anything like that, or the guys doing their own stuff, I had a great time talking to people and meeting things and discovering stuff. And those areas, one thing they did do is that all the movie stuff is in one place and all the comic stuff were not another place. So while it was packed, whoa.
We gotta cut you off.
I know.
No, but they did.
Things are good.
They did organize the convention floor very, very well. And that if you're into toys, there's a toy section. If you're into comics, there's comics. If you're into retailers. The joke was last year and the year before is that you don't go to San Diego, you survive San Diego. I think that was true this year. We survived.
I need antibiotics.
You need to be quiet.
All right.
But I mean, I've had it, so I'm.
Ron's out.
So if you want to talk about San Diego, you can go to iFanboy.com or the forums at Revision 3.
Right. You can send us an email at contact@ifanboy.com. You can, if you were in San Diego, tell us your San Diego story, or send a question or comment in if you want.
You can send us a voicemail at 888-FANBOYS, which is 888-326-2697.
And that's the San Diego show. We're done.
Now, this is perhaps the lowest point of the con for me. Holding this fucking microphone, this pretentious show. Somebody needs to close this out. Is this show over yet? Is this convention over yet?
We're over yet.
Am I gonna wake up tomorrow and be here still in this fucking booth, in this fucking town? What does that smell? Oh yes, San Diego.